Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is Wednesday. It is hump day, and we're halfway through the week. So it's going to be a good video today. Got something good I want to talk about. It kind of stems off of a comment that I had read that, there's no such thing as a silver shortage. There's plenty of silver out there, and it's kind of funny to me. I used to be that person. And I literally was negative towards gold, towards silver. When I first heard about it, I thought it was the biggest joke I ever heard. People were paying $5 for an ounce of silver. A coin, $5 a coin. I'd rather have a $5 bill. That's what I used to say. At least a $5 bill, I could use it at the store. I would even tell the person, you're better off to put your money in the stock market. I was big in the stock market in 2000. I was lucky to buy my first home just before the dot-com bubble popped, and basically everything plunged. So I was lucky in that aspect, but that was luck. Today, I've actually done my fair share of research on precious metals, and it took some hard understanding, essentially. It took some time to think about it. And there's still a lot of people out there, whether they're your friends, whether they're your family, that are naysayers on gold, on silver, and they think that what has been for the majority of our lifetime will always be. But, there's been transitions. There's been transitions throughout history where I'll say governments transition, superpowers transition, the fall of Rome. Rome transitioned. And, a lot of that stems on, I'll say, watering down the money. A lot of that stems with excessive reach of government, whether that be, our founding fathers knew that, mind our own business, stay in the States, use gold and silver as money. They understood what was going on. They founded the country on great principles. But as times got easier and people got older, the knowledge went away, and we went through a phase of essentially easy times and hard times and easy times and hard times. And over time, government decided, we don't need gold and silver as money. We don't need that. We can use paper as money. And, people have lost the understanding of it. The reason that gold and silver was supposed to be our money was because there's a finite amount of it. If you didn't have the gold in your coffers or the silver in your coffers, then you could not go and do all these spending plans or funding of other countries' projects or excessive projects that we do today. Now, am I going to sit here and say that that's wrong? I mean, it's great that the United States wants to help out other countries. But on the flip side of that, it being nice and it being the smart choice is probably not always the same thing. If you're struggling and you're broke and you're in debt and you don't have any money, you don't go borrow money to go give to other people. And that's essentially what we're doing. And so, we're seeing, though, that the debt is continuing to rise. They're printing more and more metal, more and more cash, and it's causing metal to go up. It's causing everything to go up in a time where, when you think about it, prices should be going down. Why? Some people might wonder, why should prices be going down? Well, think about it. Do you think it's easier today for manufacturers to grow stuff, to produce stuff? Technology has gotten better. It's made it easier on us. And therefore, prices of everything should be coming down. But they're not. Well, why is that? Because essentially they're printing more and more and more money. As that continues to happen, we're going to continue to see prices continue to climb up. And I think there's a lot of elites out there, a lot of high-ups that understand that gold and silver is money. They understand that we will eventually go back to that barbaric relic. And I use that terminology because that was what Jerome Powell had said. He said, we have gold and silver, but it's more of just a barbaric relic. It's tradition. That's the only reason we still do it. I don't think that's the case. I think they know that eventually it's going to come back as real money. And when it does, it's going to change things. And, you know, the idea that there's plenty and plenty of silver and gold out there, we'll say plenty of silver since the video is more about a silver shortage. You know, if there was plenty of it out there, I'll be honest, it probably wouldn't be going up in price. And some people will say that, well, think about it. It really ain't that high up in price. It's lower than it was its all-time high. I mean, even if you go back to specific time, I mean, I'm not going to tag dates because if I do that, then I'm cherry picking numbers. I'm picking the Hunts brothers. I'm picking the financial crisis. I'm picking all-time highs. But in reality, we're seeing silver go up higher. And the ease at which we used to be able to get silver out of the ground, it's easier technology-wise, but it's getting harder because there's less of it. The big deposits, the Comstock deposits, the huge deposits in the world are starting to dry up. Now, does that mean there's none in the ground? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, one, right now it's getting harder for us to get it out of the ground because the deposits are a lower percentage. Once you have a lower percentage, it'd be great if you could just pull 100% ore out of the ground left and right, but you can't do that. It's getting harder and harder. All the easy fruit has been picked. Now it's the stuff that's high up on the tree, or it's the silver that has a lower percentage. It has more rock and junk with the silver. And they purposely dodged a lot of that. They're going to want to cherry pick. I mean, if you've got a whole orchard of apples and you've got to essentially put together a bunch of it, you're going to go for the easier stuff. Why? Because it's easier to pick. And that's essentially what we've done with silver. And now we have essentially, I'm going to say peak silver even. Some people have heard the term peak energy, but I also believe peak silver. Why? Because the bulk of it is already out of the ground. And now a lot of it is being held in consolidated hands. The elites are holding lots of it. When they eventually go back to a sound money, a gold and silver money, are you going to have some? Is your family going to have some? I mean, you know, a lot of us in the room are probably, you know, kind. We want to help out our families. We want to do the right thing. But it's hard when families are giving you a hard time about it, when they don't believe, when you're sitting there trying to explain it to them, but they're just so high-strung, working day to day, they don't have time to be doing research. They don't have time to be watching the videos. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you're still here, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up. A lot of times people forget to do it. If you're not subscribed and you're still here, please take a quick minute, hit that subscribe button because it helps me out more than you know. But we're seeing silver shortages. We're seeing the price start going up faster and faster. Look at it. It's up 27% so far in just the last 6 months. Now, you know, some people are going to be like, you say that all the time. I have been saying that because that's a big number. I want people to understand. Think about that. Your net worth, if your net worth went up by 27%, it would make a big difference on you. If food prices went up by 27%, in 6 months, it would have a big impact on you. If your pay got cut 27%, it would have a big impact on you. Silver moving up 27% has a big impact. Now, especially if you're invested in it, if you've been stacking for a while, we're seeing it continue to climb higher and higher. More and more people are getting into it. Yeah, I mean, more and more people are waiting for a dip. I'll be honest, if I see a dip, I'm picking up every dip I can. I picked up that recent dip, a couple days ago. It wasn't a lot, but hey, I'll take a dollar down. It doesn't matter to me. I'll take any dips. You know, you've got to look for these opportunities because there is a silver shortage. And eventually, people are going to realize why they're stacking. Some people stack and they don't even really understand it. And I'll be honest, I was there at one time too. I pulled out a video a little while back. It was from like 7 or 8 years ago when I first started stacking. And it was kind of funny. I bought a kilo bar of silver at 600 and I don't know, $70, I think. And you could hear it in my voice that I was unsure of myself. Did I buy it? Yeah, I bought it because it made sense. I mean, it did continue to go up. It looked like it was going to start going up. The numbers were there. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I'd listen to them. And, you know, some of my family would be like, you're just watching too much of that garbage and you're getting brainwashed. And to a point, maybe so. But now when I look at that kilo of silver, I look at it differently. When I go buy a kilo now at $1,000, there's no question in my voice when I go buy it. I know, I'm certain what's going to happen. You know, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I don't give financial advice on this channel. But if I could give you a piece of financial advice, if I was allowed to, I would say stack silver. You're going to do very well with silver. Am I saying stay in it forever? I won't say that. I won't say that. I will say stack now because it's undervalued. It was undervalued at 16. It was undervalued at 20. It was undervalued at 25. And I think it's still undervalued at 30. And so that would be my one financial piece of advice. The most important piece of advice I could give somebody. Start stacking. You don't have to go out and bet your life savings on it. But you can start off with one coin at a time. Pick coins you like even. Some people have told me they like this one. It is pretty. It's got the revolvers, the Colts, and, it talks about gold, silver, and lead. It's an NRA one. Some people just I've had a lot of people say, I like them bars. That's beautiful. Just a plain NRA bar, or I'm sorry, NTR bar, 10-ounce bar. Some people like these. It's like more of a different type of pour. Or they just collect stuff they like. This was something that I had recently picked up. I think that's a pretty coin. I've already pulled 4 out of the tube for people. But once you realize that silver and gold, I'm not going to shoot down gold. I have a reason why I talk more about silver. I think that silver has the better potential of doubling before gold. So I put more into silver. I think that silver is undervalued more than gold. I think when they start losing control of precious metals, I think gold will skyrocket faster. Do I think it will come down faster when it does eventually come down? Absolutely. We've seen that time and time again. Silver goes to the moon and then it plunges back down, and people totally give up on it. Gold steadily keeps going up. You don't see huge plunges in gold. But here's my thoughts on that. And I don't talk about this too much. When gold does skyrocket, will I sell when silver does skyrocket, let me reword that, will I sell my silver? I may not, and I may. I may sell my silver for other tangible assets. Maybe I'll sell it to buy gold. Maybe I'll just swap the silver for gold. That way, if it does come down, instead of it falling like a rock, it will float back down with a little golden parachute because I'll have the gold. Or maybe I'll end up trading my silver for land. Maybe I'll sell it for a down payment on my forever home, the home that I really see myself in. I don't know yet. I've got a lot of what ifs in my life that I want to deal with and stuff that I want to do, but I don't know what the future will hold. And I don't know 100% when silver is going to really skyrocket. Now, what do I mean by skyrocket? Everybody always uses the term, silver's going to go to the moon, silver's going to skyrocket. The truth of the matter is, even if it doesn't, because I'll see comments to this day, oh, y'all said that all year, and still it didn't skyrocket. 27% is not nothing. It's something. It's a big gain. So even if it doesn't go to the moon and skyrocket, if it just keeps climbing up at a 20% ratio every year, name me something else that does 20% that's a sound asset. They're convincing people that everything is fine. Everything is hunky-dory. Everything's going great. The economy's never been better. As long as people believe that, then essentially silver probably won't moonshot. People flood into gold and silver in uncertain times. Some people believe times are uncertain right now. But then we hear on TV and the news, the economy's great. Everything's hunky-dory. I recently drove around this past weekend and I looked at houses for sale. And me and a friend, we were just driving around all the local cities all around me. We drove just spent the day driving, went out to eat, hung out at the beach a little bit, but we spent all day driving around essentially. And as we did, we were counting houses for sale. There were some little neighborhoods, 31 houses. Went to some towns, lots of houses. I looked up the MLS in San Antonio, almost 2,000 houses for sale? That's insane. But yet we hear, everything's going great. The truth of the matter is, I think we're being lied to. I think everything is manipulated, and it's to convince you that everything's great so you can just continue on. And I'll be honest, I've said this time and time again. When people realize that things are bad, the first thing they're going to do is tighten their belts. If I've used the Amish situation a couple times. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the Amish move a building. They don't bring in heavy equipment. They attach essentially wooden pegs on every 16 on center, I think they call it, 24 on center, 16 on center, whatever, to every stud. They get about 100 people. They line up around the building and they just slowly start walking with it. They lift it up on 3 and then they start walking. And it works great. It works great. They're all holding it together. But what happens when people start saying, oh no, I don't think we can do this. I think the house is going to fall. I'm going to let go now. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to go get a drink of water. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to let down. Well, eventually it gets harder and harder on the people that are holding it up. Until eventually the people holding the bag or the house can't hold it. And that's kind of how it is with the fiat dollars now. It's kind of how it is with the banking system. Everything going on now is slowly showing cracks. And they keep, patching up these cracks. But the thing is, eventually, this is unsustainable. Look at the amount of debt that the U.S. has incurred. And they'll tell you, we can always print, we don't have to worry about Social Security. We can always just print the money. The truth of the matter is, they can print the money. They could give you toilet paper. If no one's going to accept it, or if it doesn't buy you anything, what good is it? And that's really what's happening. We're seeing the money get watered down. And as for the whole silver deal, there's only so much silver. More and more people are putting their money into gold and silver. More and more industrial demand is falling on silver. And more elites are buying up silver. Even companies, they're stockpiling it. Look at what China's doing right now. They're stockpiling precious metals because they know what's coming. Do you know what's coming? Someone asked me the other day about the copper pennies. Oh, would you melt them down if they were 3 cents a piece? No, I wouldn't. Because truth of the matter is, it's like these dimes. I have no intention of melting these dimes down. I know the dimes are silver. You know the dimes are silver. I'll have no problem selling them if I want to get rid of them. $2.25 a piece now for a dime. Copper pennies, they'll eventually get there too. And really the copper pennies, I don't see copper pennies becoming worth a lot of money anytime soon. I'm trying to work a deal out right now with someone for a ton of copper pennies. Although I know I'm just going to put them up somewhere. I'm going to find some safe way to store them somewhere. And I'm just going to put them up. And it's going to be for my son's kids, my grandkids. Because down the road, by the time they're older, they're going to call it probably copper stacking, like we call it silver stacking. Why silver stack? They're going to be saying, why copper stack? Because people are going to realize it. And by then, we won't have a penny. We probably won't even have paper money. we will probably be digital. And a lot of people say, I ain't going digital. You know, at the end of the day, I don't want to go digital, but we may not have a choice. That's another reason why I stack. Because once they go digital, if they don't want you buying something, they can stop you from buying it right then and there with a punch of a button. You know, I'm not saying that to scare anybody, but it's something to consider. With that being said, I thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you left me a comment. I hope you hit the thumbs up button and subscribed if you're not subscribed. Even if your comment is something I said you disagree with, go ahead and put it in the comments. And maybe I'll end up talking a little more about that specific topic. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll be putting up some shorts tonight. I try to put up shorts every evening, not always pertaining to gold and silver, more pertaining to just cool stuff that I like or that you might like or that someone out there will like, to try to attract new people to the channel. And that way they can learn about precious metals and save themselves before everything comes crashing down and it's just too late. And then they'll be saying, I never heard about it. So thank you all for watching. Take care, everybody. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.